Good morning, good evening, and good
I'm
afternoon.
Jairus.
And I'm
You're
Ice.
tuned in to Taking It Out, and we'll be your host for today.
Hello! It's been a while, but we're back. We all hope that you had quite a fun Christmas together with your family.
If you have one.
Yeah. And of course, a Happy New Year since this will be uploaded after the New Year's. Now, to start off, we'd just like to give a special shout out to Roy Liku for having the most liked comment on our previous episode. Whoever you are, we hope you have a great day.
Okay, so today we're gonna be discussing a topic that we think is probably something in a lot of people's schedules and minds this quarantine, and it's sports and fitness. So,
Yeah, indeed. And in relation to that, and without further ado, let's introduce our guests. Wow, plural. The charismatic and athletic Josh Milo and Waiki Mercado.
woo, yeah, LeBron James and Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Yeah,
Thanks
All
for having
what
me.
right.
up?
Hello. Okay, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for agreeing to going on. All right. First off, how was the Christmas? Merry Christmas, actually. Merry
Merry
Christmas
Christmas.
first.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah. How was your Christmas celebration? Let's start off with Josh. How was your Christmas?
It was actually pretty simple because then, with all like the COVID and stuff, didn't
Yeah.
get to like go out and go to the market buy the needed stuff. So just some deliveries and some
Oh,
family members in the house.
okay.
Just more of
Not
like
too big.
yeah. So like it's not
Yeah.
that extravagant, more of like a reflecting time.
Yeah,
Nostalgic.
just simple celebration. Just
Yeah.
order some stuff from Grab. Yeah. Jairus, how about you?
Yeah, it's sort of same. Just stayed at home because of COVID. A few cousins here, but not as much as the usual because of the quarantine. And yeah, just the same Christmas, but less people in it. So, how about you, Waiki?
Nothing too special as well. We just spent the Christmas at home, but yesterday we actually went to the province so that we could meet up with our other family
Oh,
members. Yeah.
oh, that's nice.
How
Oh,
about you,
Nice.
Ice?
personally,
How about you,
uh,
Ice?
uh, we were on our way to the province, but like it was kind of traffic. So by
Oh,
12 a.m., we were in the car. But it didn't matter because I was with my family. That's all that mattered to me. But we had
Uh,
the same kind of thing, just simple, uh, home cook, home cooked noche buena stuff like that.
yeah, it's the
Yeah,
thought that
and
counts.
yeah.
yeah, it's the thought that as long as
Yeah.
you're with who you love, it's a good Christmas. Now, the topic of Christmas aside, how about just the break in general? How has it been to like get a break from all the stress from school, just in general?
Uh,
Waiki, you first.
okay. Well, it's actually fun because we were able to move, and I was able to spend time with my family, and we were able to catch up on
Oh,
each other, and we were able to reflect, actually, and we're actually pretty much a religious family, so we try to,
oh,
you know every night we try to pray the rosary, and we try to hear mass every Sunday.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty
yeah.
much our break.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The pandemic like teaches you to like be grateful
Yeah.
for everything you have.
Exactly.
Josh, your turn.
I think the break's like really helpful for everyone because then, new setup for school, and as we all know, first term was, well, we can say it was hell for all of us because then it
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was new, like the way we do quizzes, the way they send out homeworks, it was all pretty new. Like even if our generation is like the tech savvy ones, the ones that grew up with
yeah,
technology, it was still pretty like just a big bam to your face. Like one thing you got 10 stuff due tomorrow. Like, oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
So I think the break just
yeah,
really helps you relax and yeah, just like what Waiki said, have time and fun with your family and friends.
Yeah, I think that goes
Yeah,
for all of us. Like
correct.
more time for family and friends. Yeah. Jairus,
Yeah,
what's your say?
just
Like,
like
how was your
Josh
break?
and Waiki, this break was really nice. I got to spend time with my family again, and like, because I was in the province for pretty much the whole quarantine and the whole first and second term. I got to go here to QC again after like a lot of months. So it's really
Oh,
nice, and I got to spend more time with my family.
yeah, that explains the new angle or background. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Now let's move on to the actual topic of the episode today: sports. And knowing that both of you are varsities in football for Josh and
yeah.
basketball for Waiki, let's just start off with your what positions you play. For more context, like what position do you primarily play when you have a game? You Waiki. Let's start with Waiki.
It depends on which team I play on, but for the school, I'm normally a small forward to a power forward. It's a in basketball terms, it's called a stretch four.
Mm. Oh,
So
you're a
yeah,
shooter. Oh, okay.
depends. It depends. It depends. You know, I have off nights.
Ah,
I
okay,
have good
okay, okay.
games. Depends.
All right. We've seen you play. Uh,
Yeah.
we can all say that you're a good shooter.
Not really.
uh,
But thanks.
okay. How about Josh? What do you play
I
for?
Yeah.
so this is actually for all the teams I play for. I'm actually a midfielder.
Oh,
Uh, attacking between attacking, defending in the central area. For like those who don't understand, it's kind of like a playmaker, something like that.
Mm,
We're kind of like what you call the bridge from the defense to the offense. We're the one that's orchestrating the plays, and all in all, you can say engine of the team, something like that.
oh, okay.
yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that information. Hopefully they'll be like helpful for the audience. And now let's ask the two of you. What do you guys think is a student athlete? What's the definition of a student athlete, and what should a student athlete be?
Um, so for me, I think it's someone who is a student and he has sports on the side. Because normally people tend to misconceive is that um for student athletes are just those sports athletic people, but
Mm,
it's very
yeah,
far from that. That's why the student comes first before the athlete.
yeah, yeah.
We're students first, and sports is just a secondary thing. We're supposed to focus more the on our academics and our grades and all that.
Okay, Josh, how about you?
All right. Well, for me, student athlete. I think one of the common misconceptions about student athletes is that we are dumb, which is pretty
Yeah,
offensive.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
not
there
offensive,
is
but then
offensive.
it's kind of like such a bad stereotype. Like
yeah,
we see
that's
in
true.
Yeah,
movies how student athletes are always like the bullies or like they're dumb. They ask for homework,
yeah,
look up money. But then like in reality, I mean, it's true. There are some of us not
There's
gonna name
some.
drop, not gonna name drop, but then there are some. Well, not dumb, but then you can say they have a hard time with academics. I mean, who
Yeah,
doesn't? It's like,
no. I mean,
but
it. If you look at it, it is kind of harder
that's
to
hard.
study more with sports there. But it is a wrong and bad misconception or stereotype to think
yeah,
that all student athletes are dumb.
yeah, because then I have a lot of teammates that are actually honors. Like one example is our
Mm.
good friend Wax Hieronimo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's
wax.
actually a student athlete as well, and
Mr. Floor Director. Yeah,
he's an honor student, right? So
yeah,
I think it's a pretty bad misconception or a stereotype to say that athletes are dumb. Because
Yeah,
then student athletes, like they chose to be student athletes. Like there are some athletic people we also know that chose not to be student athletes. I think that misconception is like pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay. Again, thank you for that. I really hope that people watching this will be able to like, change their misconceptions or anything, because if
Yeah,
anything, the last thing we need right now is negativity. Yeah.
that's true.
Now, since we talked about this earlier before the show, the pandemic, like what changes did this bring?
Well, we can't meet up for practices though, unless like we just do training
Mm.
like on our own, and we can invite small groups of friends and small groups of our own teammates, just like
Mm.
that. And but normally we have like training online, like we meet with our teammates or Google Meet, then we just train there, and our coaches just gives us instructions to do. Pretty much that's the only change, and there is no bubble.
There's
Oh, okay.
There is no bubble.
yeah, there is no well
Oh, there's no bubble. Oh, that was one of our questions. Y'all
Uh,
haven't had like a
Exactly.
bubble of
There's
some
no.
sort?
Nah, like I don't think we have. I don't think the school has enough money to fund that kind of,
mm,
housing all student athletes, of all sports, see,
that
true though.
makes sense.
of all age groups, though.
That was actually like one thing I brought up with my teammates because then in past time, like if you have no training or after school, I play with my teammates PS4, chill
Ooh.
pipe down.
Uh,
One of the things that actually came in my mind, or like we just talked it up, is that the like if the season were to continue, we don't know now. That Ateneo could actually like hold trainings for us because then Cervini dorm, right? Cervini dorm. No one's there right now. So like what we could do is or could have done was all athletes there, including the coaches. No one goes out, no one goes in. I mean, we have cafeterias at school or delivery, and we can train from
Yeah.
there. We're inside the
yeah,
facility. No one goes out. Then if someone gets COVID, I mean, our school's pretty big, so I'm sure there's gonna be like
Yeah.
places for the quarantine and
So
stuff.
it's like compatible.
But sadly,
So
it was
the question is, will your parents allow you though?
yeah, that's the big question there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
actually the
that's
biggest question for
because
all
you're still
like
risking your life.
that's the biggest question for me. I think
You're
I
still
think Waiki
risking
can
yourself
agree
of
on.
getting infected.
Yeah, I think Waiki can agree on that. That it's the biggest question for like everyone
yeah,
in
Mm.
like the kids. I mean, like our age that goes
Exactly.
to training or has
Yeah.
sports. Is that are your parents willing to like if let's say it's set up, but then if your parents aren't willing to,
Uh,
it's nothing. You can't train still.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
You know,
I guess that also
like,
adds
like,
why
what are we gonna train
Ateneo
for
didn't
though?
want
Like, there's no
to do that
leagues. Like, what are we
because
gonna train for?
yeah, that is true. But
mm,
then like we have seen the pros like do it. That's
yeah,
true. But then yeah, I think it's still a pretty big risk. But it was a big
yeah,
if like the
yeah, like
organizers hold the stuff,
would
but
be
they do it.
nice, but
Could have been nice.
too risky.
But that would be so
mm,
pricey,
Yeah,
like
the
imagine
risk
if
is still
the
there.
so
school,
pricey and risky.
imagine if the school like I don't know, they call this like imagine if the school like spent like so much money on this and then like the parents of the students said no, like we're
Yeah,
not gonna
Yeah,
I
further
think that's one thing they considered as
Not
well.
gonna allow
go.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Let's
Yeah,
say they open
Exactly.
they do
It's gonna be
said
useless.
one dude, just the one dude that allowed. Jesus.
1 person training.
Imagine if like just one guy gets it, and everyone just like it just spreads.
Yeah, that's why it was a
Yeah,
big if, one of the plans. But then you'll never know. I mean, we got a new COVID in London, like so.
The UK, yes.
I think what we're doing right now, because then our training for football is the same as like Waiki's, the online setup and
yeah,
stuff. I think it's the best way right now, because then there is a vaccine, but we don't have it yet. So it's pretty sketchy if we go out there, especially considering our age.
Yeah.
And of course, our parents would be like pretty skeptical about it because then it's a pandemic. So yeah.
All right. After some technical difficulties, let's move on. Okay. So let's talk about what are the advantages and disadvantages that were brought by the pandemic and the changes.
Yeah.
Uh, Waiki
Well,
first.
as mentioned before, like we can't really meet up with our teammates, and our coaches. Like
Yeah.
we can't have face-to-face training unless
Yeah.
we can invite a small group of friends. But
Mm.
uh, training that is handled by the school is not allowed face-to-face. That's a big
Oh.
disadvantage. Well, an advantage is you can work out on your own. Like you can set your own pace, and you can
Yeah.
work out on your own pace. You can on different
Yeah. That's
aspects of how you play, and yeah, those are the few advantages
That's
of
actually a pretty good point.
having
How
of
about Josh?
having no face
What's your take?
training.
What's your take on this?
My take is, you know, even if we have different sports, ba- basically the same. It's
Mm.
just the way you
yeah.
train. As Waiki said, we really can't uh, meet up with each other with the teammates, and that's like most people would see that it's not that big of a deal, but it's actually a pretty big deal because then training as a team as a whole, it just
Mm.
helps with the team chemistry.
Yeah.
And training like this, because then the setup's almost like this. It's like your teammates are there, but then it's not the
Yeah.
Yeah.
same because then you're not in the same area. You don't have the
Mm-hmm.
same atmosphere, and that's where usually brotherhood is bonded chemistry. Because then being part of a team is like being part of a family as well.
Yeah,
You gotta look out
that's
for each other during games.
that's why I
But
kind of feel bad for like new students who
Yeah.
get into new classes. Like how are you gonna make friends there?
yeah,
You know?
but
What were you saying, Josh?
Point.
Yeah.
But amidst like the disadvantages, just like Wacky said, you have your own pace. You
Mm-hmm.
can do stuff your own way, and I think this is really it's a test. It's like one of a big test that how committed are you to
To the
being a
sport.
student
Yeah.
athlete and to your sport? Like, are you willing to like train every day even when no one's looking at
Mm-hmm.
you? Are you willing to put in the amount of work you put in when the coaches are watching? I think that's a great practice mindset, especially if you're a student athlete who's pursuing to go pro on
Mm-hmm.
your sport. It's a good practice. So, you know, like I always think there's always positives and negatives. So just take the positive and go on with it.
Yeah.
So,
What?
do you guys want? Are there any changes you want to make? I mean, obviously, all of us want to go back to face because
Yeah.
that's what we've all been used to, and we all
Definitely.
miss each other. But let's say this would go on. This online setup will go on. Are there any changes you want to make? Like without any name drops or anything.
Mm.
Oh, of course. I hope like even if, for example, like the new teachers, they're like not they're still very naive.
Mm,
I hope they could just please try to like get us interested into the discussion,
yeah,
and
I
I
see.
hope they could try like digging deep more into what they're trying to teach us, so that the synchronous sessions would actually make sense, so that would actually learn something, because sometimes you feel like you're just learning on your own, you're just teaching yourself. Like sometimes it's very inconvenient for almost everyone. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, everyone doesn't didn't really want to learn online and have this kind of setup.
Mm.
So yeah, that's one thing I'd want to change.
Yeah, that's
How about in regards to your training, like
Our training.
Yeah.
aside from school?
Um, well, I hope that actually I haven't trained properly like since March. They
Oh,
tied up the nets in our village, like so we can't shoot. So basically, what I've been doing right now is just working on my dribbling, and I had to lift weights so that you could work on your body more.
All right. Okay.
All right. So for me, I think one thing probably, you know, just like the Waiki, the problem that Waiki has, your access to facilities, certain facilities, because then, as we see abroad, like I'm not comparing us to abroad, but then they're actually able to go out and play, because then just with the restrictions and everything, because then there are actually some student athletes out there
Yeah.
who don't have the area to do so. Like we're pretty blessed, us, we got like the area to do so, but then I think it's really hard if you're an athlete and you don't have the right area, especially if you have to go to this certain area just to be able to train, and during the pandemic it's closed. But there are a lot of ways to train, like how Waiki's doing or how any other student athletes doing right now, is just work on your body, try to improve on your game on your own, as much as you can on the given space or areas that you're allowed to. But I think that's one thing I want to change, just the access to facilities, because then that would also actually really help on how you play, maintaining your form.
So sort of related to that, how do you think your form is on the things you can like do right now, like shooting? How do you think your form is affected right now since you haven't done that in a long time?
Me or Waiki?
Both of you.
Oh, both of. Oh well,
Wait, I
both.
thought
Both of us have.
I
Yeah.
was going first. Anyway,
Oh, my bad. My
I'm
bad. My
gonna be a
bad.
little. I'm gonna be a little rusty. I haven't shot the basketball since like March.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. You said.
Yeah.
graduating.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I haven't played properly since March. So I'm gonna be way off P. You know
Way
what I'm
off.
saying? Like
Way off the.
way
Way
off.
off.
I'm gonna
Dang.
be way off. I'm gonna be rusty as hell, dude. Like I don't think I'll be able to get my shooting touch back immediately.
Dude.
Even
I
my
mean,
dribbling, it's very rusty. Like when I try to dribble outside the house, it's so rusty. Like I lose the ball so many like often.
That's scary.
I
Yeah,
mean, I.
actually, pretty much all the every aspect of basketball, I'm very rusty at it right now.
Well, I just feel bad for like whoever I'm gonna hit when I come back. Probably.
Yeah.
I already see it, man. Like we go back to school, the windows. I'm happy that they put bars on the windows, like
Oh.
the
Yeah.
gym by the field. Because then, if not,
Oh. All
oh
right.
my god! And we're probably gonna need a ladder, few balls up there in the roof.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually
Okay.
tried shooting before, because then they opened UP.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
they
Oh.
have like this goal. First shot, first shot in like what 6 months, dude. I was
Uh,
sending it to space,
oh
bro.
no.
Oh my.
Like
All
literally
right.
just where
Oh,
were you trying to go, bro? But yeah, I think everyone's like when we come the
yeah.
four, like probably the dribbling and stuff is gonna be all right, but
Yeah, the dribbling but shoot.
the shooting,
This,
I don't know, man. It's
this is the
going
thing though. Like,
places.
it's really shocking. Like when you watch
Yeah.
the pros do it. Like they come back after so long, and they're so good already right away. Like Kevin Durant just came back a few days ago. He dropped a bunch of points, and everyone is amazing. So yeah, but I think I'm pretty sure that both of you have shot your shots online through text. If you know what I mean.
I don't know about Josh, but I haven't.
Oh,
I don't know.
Josh.
I don't
I mean,
know.
who's there to shoot for though? Who's there
Oh,
to shoot for though?
I
I
don't
mean,
know. It's up to you guys.
kind of sketchy to shoot your shot right now, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a point.
no
You have a
harm in
point.
trying. No harm in trying.
I know, Josh. I'm not. Can we
Hey
cut that
man,
out? I kind
hey
of
man,
exposed Josh.
hey man.
Hey, no name drops. No
It's
name drops.
here. I'm trying
I'm
to
sorry. I'm
trying
sorry.
to be here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay,
Alright,
Trying to be
alright.
please.
here.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I'm gonna keep that to myself. I'm gonna keep that to myself.
All right, you do
Sorry,
you,
Josh.
man.
Alright.
That's alright, man. I mean, yeah, it's better to try than not knowing how you do when you don't. You're gonna have that guilt. As for
Yeah.
me, I actually just recently decided that I'd try to go pro in football.
Nice.
That's why I don't hate the quarantine that much. And I was able to reflect and think that I can actually maybe do this. So yeah, um, I'm actually deciding to go pro after senior high. Yeah, after senior high, I'm gonna go abroad, try it out, and
Oh,
see if it
nice.
works. You know, uh, gotta start somewhere.
All right. Thanks, Josh and Mikey. Now we're just wondering as well if you have any quick message to leave for your fellow and aspiring athletes
Okay.
out there.
So for my fellow athletes out there, um, I know y'all are having a hard time right now, especially it's pandemic, like we talked about. Facilities aren't there, but just keep going. Especially those who are planning to go pro or make their sports their career. Just keep working hard. Put in the effort. Always put in the effort, even when no one's looking. It'll pay off. Well, I don't know if mine will pay off, but I'm sure it'll pay off.
Yeah.
Hard work
Yeah,
always pays off.
that's
As
true.
for the aspiring student athletes, uh, you just gotta know that you guys are stepping into a world like any other, unlike any other. I mean, you won't be able to do what your fellow classmates are able to do. Those who don't have extracurricular activities, because then you're a student athlete and you just gotta be committed. You just gotta be committed, and you gotta always give in your effort. Just like what I said to my fellow athletes, always give your effort, and you'll be good. You'll be able to go through high school or probably college as a student athlete as long as you're disciplined and committed.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Josh.
Nice.
No problem.
Now,
Mhm.
Waiki, how about you? Any message, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah.
Okay, to all them student athletes out there, I want to keep it short. And to those who want to become student athletes, do not compromise your studies. You're always a student first before the athlete. And being a student athlete comes with many responsibilities, and you have to sacrifice a lot of things, and you have to let go of a lot of things.
All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Uh, that's very fun, very productive.
Yeah.
We faced a lot of difficulties along the way, but we're done. Thank you again,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ice.
Josh,
Thanks,
Waiki.
Jairus.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And now, the golden question. Josh, Waiki, have you taken it out?
Yes,
Yes,
I've
I
taken it
do.
out.
Alright. Alright. That's a wrap,
Alright.
everybody.
Alright,
Take
thank
care,
you,
y'all.
thank you. Take care.
Peace out. Like this and like that, like that.
Pandemic. So yeah.
Did Ice just die?
I,
Oh,
He's frozen.
he's frozen.
no, yo, if you're watching this, he's not dead. He's doing the mannequin challenge. Okay, he's doing the mannequin challenge
Yo,
and
Josh,
he's
Oh
Josh,
my
play
winning.
the
god.
music.
He's winning. All right, let
Ice.
me.
I mean,
And you're back from taking it out. Our host is Jairus and this chair.
This chair.
So, chair, tell me, how long have you been there? Oh, that's so interesting.
thought he was the host, so he's supposed to ask you questions.